From Central Indiana's number one news source, this is Fox 59 Tonight.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 59 Tonight. I'm Cameron Riddle. Thank you for downloading our Fox 59 smart TV streaming app on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and now on your Samsung TV. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss a moment of the conversations we have every night at 8 o'clock here on Fox 59 Tonight. It is August, and the last round of school students going to K through 12 schools are pretty much in now. And then in the coming days, it'll be time to go back to the college campuses. This is an expensive time of year, no matter what age your kids are, no matter if it's going back to school, there are some costs involved. And so we want to talk about those costs and how you can plan for that with our financial expert, Cordell Drake. He is here in the studio, and he knows a thing or two about sending kids back to college and just how much that costs. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, Cam. How are you?
I'm okay. You know, I've got a child now, but he's nowhere near the college money. Not yet. I know we should start saving, but you know what that's like. You've been popped a couple of times as you get ready for this time of the year.
I do. And the key is planning. As the old saying, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So you don't just wake up one day and, I think it's time to go to college. This needs to be a well thought out process. And honestly, college isn't for everybody.
Right.
There's a whole lot of options other than college. There's trade school. You're a homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
You ever have a plumber come out to your house? I assure you, it's not cheap.
No.
You never need electrical work. It's not cheap.
No.
You own a car, mechanic, it's not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So there are other trades that children can look into along with college. I think that's a big mistake we've made as a culture to think, well, everybody needs to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the worst case scenario is you go off to college, go for a couple of years, come home with a couple of credits and a whole lot of debt.
Mm-hmm.
You have there's lost opportunity of wages you could have been earning while you were sitting around that college campus flailing and failing. And you've also then brought home debt. So that's a double whammy. College is great. It is for some people, but I think it's something that, children need to plan for.
Mm-hmm.
A D- student shouldn't jump up and decide all of a sudden, I graduated school, I'm ready to go to college. Really? What is the plan here?
Mm-hmm.
You've shown no propensity to want to learn before.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that you can't change, but why all of a sudden, because you graduated, that's just the next step? And it shouldn't be the next step. It should be a well thought out plan.
Well, you know what? You mentioned that we may have made a mistake telling everybody to go to college because even when I was in high school, everybody was talking about learning to code and build a website and learn all the technological things, which now artificial intelligence can do for you. What they can't figure out yet, artificial intelligence has not been able to come out and replace the air conditioner or the clog in the drain or the roof that is leaking. So trades, of course, are still important.
They are very important. You're right. And AI has its place. I'm not an expert, but I do know that computers do not have the ability to do critical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
They will do what you tell them to do. I've experienced it, and they do have limitations. But, once again, college is a great thing. It's just not for everybody. I don't think we should take a cookie cutter approach to anything. Everybody's different. I think it's Proverbs 22:6 says, raise up a child in the way that they should go. How did God form this person? What's good for them? Some people are good with their hands. Some people are good intellectually. It just depends, what you want to do, but your child, and more importantly, your child knows yourself. Some people may need a gap year to stay home and mature. But like I said, I think the worst case scenario is to just go to school, all this debt, you haven't planned anything, you're just borrowing for every particular part of school, you know.
At what part is it too late to start saving? Because those fees get you before you even step on campus, they want some money.
Exactly. I don't think it's ever too late, but there are other ways to peel that onion. First of all, if you really are serious about school and you're doing well, they have academic scholarships. If you're a good athlete, they have athletic scholarships. If you are low income, they have Century 21. You know, now IPS has this program where, you know, as long as you stay in the state of Indiana, I mean, as long as you graduate from IPS, I think they'll let you go to IU, University of Indianapolis. I'm sorry, not IU.
Indiana University.
Indiana University in Indianapolis. They'll let you go. They'll cover your college tuition. So there are programs out there. I mean, once again, you have to do your homework. You know, maybe kids put down the computer and stay off Instagram and I won't say Facebook. Facebook is for old people.
Oh, okay.
So TikTok, and take some time and do some research. You know, it's your future. Take your time and plan it out.
Okay, so what do people first need to understand about going to college and the money that's going to cost? I think you would say the first thing people need to understand would be the loans.
Yeah, there's a very good chance you will have to take out loans. But they also, some universities have what's called the LRAP program, loan repayment program. And as long as you graduate and you make less than and it's a reasonable number, like less than $60,000 a year, they'll pay back those loans. Once you start paying, they'll start stepping in and paying them for you. As there are different programs. But once again, you have to do your research. You have to take your time. This is your life. You need to plan it out. You know, you just don't wake up one day and say, oh, I'm going to college, and walk on the campus and all this stuff just falls out of the sky. It just doesn't work that way. You have to plan. I think the analogy I always use is life is a chess game. It's not checkers. If you play checkers, you're going to have a lot of problems. This is chess. You need to be thinking 3 or 4 moves ahead. Another option is maybe you need to go to the local community college. You can go to the local community college. Those same preliminary classes that you take at IU or Purdue, they're the same ones you can take at the local community college. English 101 is English 101.
True.
But it's a lot cheaper. You can stay home. You can work, save some money, and you'll have the same amount of credits, and you'll mature. Maybe you need to stay home for a year or two. And then when you step on that college campus, you've got a credit instead of a debit. You've got the same amount of credits, and you've got some work experience, and much better situation to be in.
The loans, of course, you know, they're calling my phone. That might have been them who called just a minute ago. They said, hey, Cam, we ain't got nothing from you in a little time now. What's going on? While necessary, there are consequences. And even though, you know, we thought those would get, what were we calling that? Forgiven.
Right.
Current administration has different plans.
Yes, they do. Psych.
Yeah. I thought you thought. What is it that people need to understand about getting a loan, or like I'd even say, like, you know, look at Pell Grant things that. Let me ask you this way: what's the difference between a grant and a loan?
A grant is a gift. You don't have to pay it back. A loan, they want to be paid back with interest. Now, the thing is, they are a necessary part of the college experience, but you need to try the best you can to minimize, to come out with the smallest amount possible. If zero, it is possible. Everybody's different. You might be better off taking the scenic route, going through college and coming out with no loans than graduating in 4 years with a bunch of loans. Because there's opportunity costs with the time that maybe if you went to school part-time, you could still be working, earning money.
Right.
Versus going on the college campus and getting the experience with all the debt. You just want to minimize those loans. That I cannot emphasize that enough. And there are ways to pay them off. Depending on the individual, there's nothing wrong with going into the military. They will eliminate a lot of those loans for you, if not all of them, depending on your makeup. Now, this isn't for everybody.
I was going to say.
This isn't, no. Trust me. It's not for you. Exactly. It's not for you. But there are people it is for. You not only will you get that taken care of, you may get some discipline and health care. Everybody is different. You've got to figure out what works best for you. This is, once again, it's not a cookie cutter approach.
I know you brought some notes, some things that you wanted to make sure people understand. What do you have there?
Okay. Well, once again, you need to understand. Now, these are statistics that I looked up from the reliable websites, the national database from student loans. As of 2025, the average amount of student debt is $38,375. That is a lot of money.
It's a lot.
And I can think of a lot of things you could do with that other than paying it back. And trust me, when you pay it back, it's not going to be that amount. It's going to be inflated quite a bit. That's huge. Think about if you decide, okay, I would rather go to Ivy Tech, take classes, and work part-time. Just part-time. 20 hours a week. I'm just going to conservatively say making $15 an hour.
Okay.
That's over 15 grand that you've made. If you just save a third of it, you're going to have $5,000, college credits, and a job. Versus the person who goes off to school, they come home and probably got anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 worth of debt, and they've not made a dime while they were in school. Different ways to approach it, but like I said, to just jump in head first with all that debt. If school is what you want to do, then act like it. I mean, it's just like somebody decide, oh, I want to be an athlete, but you never train, you don't work out, and you think you're just going to walk onto the team. It doesn't work that way. The same thing with being, an academia.
Suppose you do, though. Suppose you never thought you were going to go to college. And then spring of senior year, and you're really pushing it. And you say, you know what? I think I want to go to college in the fall. So you apply and you get in.
Get in.
What do you do then?
Well, it depends on, they let you in. Are they offering any money when they let you in? I would liken that to just waking up one day and say, you know what? I want a house. Don't you think that's something you should plan for?
Yeah.
Because, they'll loan you the money.
They will.
They'll loan you the money. That's one thing. I mean, unless your credit is terrible here in America, they will loan you the money. But is that what's best for you? Because I think that the scary part about the loans with school is you're talking about young people who don't really understand finances.
And probably have never seen that amount of money next to their name. Right.
And you don't have to deal with it now. You just kick the can down the road, but you don't realize at some point you're at the end of the road and now you've got to pay those bills back on top of all the other things you have to deal with in life. You have a car, you got a house or an apartment, and you've got real life going on, and now those bills are due because you didn't address them earlier. And it makes life difficult. You don't want to get up and go to work, and for every dollar you make, 40 cents of it is already gone. It's not a good feeling.
What else is on your list there?
Excuse me?
I said, what else you got on your list there?
Well, I think the biggest thing, once again, is to understand college isn't for everyone. Mm-hmm. But if it is, plan things out. Just take your time and plan it out. And like I said, trade school is not the end of the world. Mm-hmm. The military is not the end of the world. You have to figure out what's best for you.
Well, let's talk about trade school.
All right.
Because, like I said, you always need. They're never going to be out of work. I mean, if AI is going to take over their job, it's going to be some time,
right?
Before that even happens. And so, I guess I'd ask you, as a homeowner, as someone who's been through life and has raised children, what would you say to somebody who? What would you say to anybody who's writing off trade schools?
I would say you're making a big mistake if you're inclined to that. For instance, it's 88 degrees outside. Mm-hmm. You go home and your AC is not working. I guarantee you the HVAC man is getting ready to be your best friend. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you anybody with HVAC skills and any inclination to get out and work are working now.
Yes.
And that same person, it's August now. In 3 months, when your furnace is not acting right, that same gentleman is still your best friend. Mm-hmm. There's always work to be done. Every building in the world, well, I won't say the world, every building in a city mm-hmm. needs either air or heat mm-hmm. at some time or another. Very rarely. We don't live in San Diego where it's 75 and sunny every day.
That's beautiful.
Where you can just open the door, open the window, and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. The HVAC man is going to be busy. The electrician. Yeah. You got to have electricity in your house. There's things that an electrician can do. Look how much it costs to hang a ceiling fan. Mm-hmm. They are expensive. and the labor is even more expensive than the fan.
Well, it's the knowledge base that they have to come in and make it look easy that they deserve to be paid for. And so I know people think about it's hard, I guess, sometimes for when you have a trade job to say, hey, this is what you're going to make a year. Because it's always estimates really about how much you work.
How much you work and how much of a skill set you have. Mm-hmm. It's a skill set. It is, electrician who's been on his job a while is going to make good money. Consider this building. If an electrician had to come in here and do mm-hmm. some serious work, FOX59 was getting ready to dig in their pockets.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a big building.
Yeah.
All right. So then you've got the plumbing. Mm-hmm. Tell you what, I've experienced it. You don't want plumbing problems. Mm-hmm. And depending on the problem, your whole house can be shut down. You cannot function in a house without sewage. And when they come out at 2 a.m. on a Sunday, whatever price they tell you, you'll be happy to pay it.
Well, we talked about, you talked about the money and how much school costs. I mean, trade school has a cost, but one thing I want that I want to mention is we recently did a show here on Fox 59 tonight with Derek Wilkerson, who used to be a reporter here back in the day. But now he helps people find scholarships over at Pike Township and Pike High School. And so look for that episode because that's another way that obviously you should be looking for scholarships.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why, I mentioned, you got the academic scholarships, you have the athletic, you've got the military, you've got the income-based scholarships. Like I said, Century 21 is a great mm-hmm. deal. It's mm-hmm. whoever, just because you don't have live in a high-income household has nothing to do with your intellect and your ability to go to school. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have a 3.7 GPA, and unfortunately you're in a situation where you're below the poverty line, that doesn't mean you shouldn't have the opportunity to go to school, and that would be afforded to you at a very reasonable cost.
We got just a couple minutes left.
Sure.
While I have a financial expert here in the room, How about those tariffs? How we doing? Because it's been a while since you've been here.
Yes.
And last time you were here, it was all about that cost was not going to be passed down to the customer. That the companies would take care of that, and that's not what's happening.
Well, the inflation numbers have steadied some. I guess it's depending on what you're looking at. Now, from what I've been told, obviously, I don't know for sure, I wasn't there, but what a lot of businesses did was buy up a lot of inventory before the tariffs hit. And so it hasn't really taken effect yet. And trust me, in my lifetime, I've never seen businesses eat the cost and not pass it on. Inflation is real. And three things will always front run the economy. Three areas.
Okay.
Healthcare, automobiles, and what we just talked about, higher education. Everything else with inflation can be normal 2-3%. Those three run double digits. And they have historically always done it. And the tariffs, like I said, have had an effect, but the full brunt of it, we haven't seen yet. And then once again, the administration keeps playing games. Well, we're going to tax you, and then it gets ready for the tariff to kick in. We're going to give you a 90-day extension. So it's really hard to say. It's been a whole lot of, as where I come from, selling the wolf tickets. That's all that's happened so far.
What has that done to the markets? Because now you can't predict anything on you literally don't know if stuff's coming or going.
You don't. The market is very sensitive. It likes stability. And so it's up one day, down the next. One report comes out and everything, they overreact. And it's very hard to gauge because now you're in an administration. Well, Cam, I ask you a question. You answer it. I said, Cam, what's the temperature outside? You tell me it's 88 degrees. It's hot outside. I don't want it to be hot. You're fired. I need somebody that's going to tell me it's 72 and sunny, regardless of what's really going on. That's where we at. If you can't trust the data, then what good is it? It's worthless. So we're just in a difficult period of uncertainty now.
Well, it seems now that when it comes to, we talked about the job numbers in that same way, they were given the job forecast and the numbers didn't look good, so the president fired them, not because they're wrong, because the president said, I didn't like those numbers.
Right.
And so now the word is that the new person they put in, they may not release the numbers. They just might not do a report.
Right. And those areas historically are supposed to be free from political pressure. We just need to know the truth. When Chris Wright comes on TV and tells us the weather, we can't condemn the man. He's just giving us accurate information. Now, it's July and you want it to be nice outside, but if it's raining in a thunderstorm, that's what's happening. Your picnic is just going to be canceled. And you have to, plan accordingly. But we can't shoot the messenger. And that's the era, that's the environment we're in now. Shoot the messenger because he's not saying what I want to hear.
And quit sending the message.
Right. Yeah, just quick sending a message and just listen to me.
Yeah, there is no message. There's the jobs are great. Everything is great.
Everything's great. Greatest economy ever. Okay.
This is, I'm still, when I'm watching the stock market and trying to figure everything out, because I've done reporting here where I've said one in the same week, greatest day in the stock market in stock market history. 2 days later, worst day in stock market history. Then it's back to the best day, and it's like,
you want stability. Everybody, you think of a kid. A kid wants stability. They want to know where they're going to sleep every night, where their next meal is coming from, what school they're going to. And if that changes constantly, it's a problem. And it's the same thing with the stock market. Stock market wants stability, and there is no stability. We just don't. Now it's the threatening we're going to fire the Fed chairman. Well, this man's job is to try to guide the economy. He said with these tariffs, inflation is going to be up. Well, I can't lower the rates when inflation is up. That's just going to make it worse. I should fire you too. Well, guess what? Just like you can't fire a Supreme Court justice, you can't fire me. I'd like to.
Right.
But the threats of saying they're going to fire him, that just causes more instability.
I was going to say that too messes up the market.
That does. It messes with the market, and it's just sad. But that's where we are. I've always felt like the greatest form of intelligence is being able to adapt to the situation. So everybody needs to adapt. This is where we are now.
Well, we started off talking about college and ended on politics. You could get both and study political science and have a degree in economics. Actually, you know who had that? Kamala Harris. Did you know that she had a degree in economics?
It wouldn't surprise me. She's a very intelligent lady.
It was interesting when I learned that just recently after the election. I was like, interesting. So, with that said, you could go to school and you could learn economics and political science, and you too can run the world.
That is true. I do have one closing comment, if you don't mind.
I don't
Great
mind.
story.
I don't mind.
Met a young lady while I was visiting family out east, and we just happened to be talking about travel. And I told the young lady that I was thinking about going to Boston. I was just kind of on my bucket list, and she was like, "Oh, really? I went to grad school at Boston." I said, "Oh, really?" Just in casual conversation, where'd you go to school? She said, "Harvard." Yeah, that's the same look I had on my face. I've never met anybody who's gone to Harvard, let alone grad school. And she was an African-American young lady. So with that being said, it can be done.
And I actually just had the pleasure of visiting Harvard for the first time. I was out in Boston last month. So got to see it in person. So
there you go. It can be done.
The historic,
just have to plan for it.
Yes.
And make sacrifices. But it can be done.
All right. More Fox 59 tonight coming up. Cordell, thank you very much for your expertise on this one, these financial matters. We'll stay on top of it all as we all try to keep a little money in our pocket. And see, now there you go again. That's Department of Education looking for their money. We got to go so I can call them back. Tell them I don't have it. Try again next month. More Fox 59 tonight coming up after this.